本日の聖書箇所は第二テモテ2章2節。第二テモテ2章の2節です。新海訳にて拝読させていただきます。多くの証人の前で私から聞いたことを他の人にも教える力のある忠実な人たちに委ねなさい。You are called と題しまして、ジーン・ミノリホール宣教師先生に説教をお願いいたします。
その前に簡単にですね、今からお話しされるジーン・ミノリご夫妻ですね、宣教師は、この来年2019年に日本に行かれて、日本におられるこのリーダーたちにこの教える人たちですよね。そういう形でしてくださいます。詳しいことは後ほどジーン先生が語ってくださいますので、ではよろしく皆さん拍手でお迎えいたしましょう。
皆さん、excuse me。おはようございます。よろしくお願いします。Thank you for having us here at Anchor South Bay. I've been here for meetings, but this is my first opportunity to come and worship with you. 英語で大丈夫ですか? When I am finished, my wife Minori will come and do translation. Okay? Okay, I'll try to speak slowly. If I speak fast, you know, I don't know. She'll give me a glare. She'll stare at me, and then I get nervous when she stares at me. I do want to thank Mick Sensei for having us. Maybe last fall, October, he and I met. I actually met your whole family. We had dinner together with Superintendent Jason Garcia and his wife Christy at their home in San Clemente at a Recalibrate training for all our pastors and leaders. So it's a delight for us to be here. And especially we're honored that we can come and share our call to Japan and Asia. We need people to partner with us in prayer and to support us financially. So it really is a true honor and a blessing for us to have an extended family here in Los Angeles, Orange County in Northern California. Well, my name's Gene Hall. I've pastored in Nikkei churches for over, 27 years. Ordained 20-some years, and then I worked in Nikkei churches for nearly another 7 or 8 years. So I've spent nearly my entire ministry in Japanese environments, and I feel like it's a lifelong calling for me. I feel quite blessed for God's call upon my life and my family's life. I would like to share a quote from a famous Japanese who lived in towards the end of the 1800s, early 1900s. Toyohiko Kagawa. Does anyone know Toyohiko Kagawa? He was a famous reformer. He was kind of a social justice kind of guy. He cared about people deeply, as Christ did. And he was quoted as saying, and you can kind of do the translation in Japanese, but he said, I read in a book that a man called Christ went about doing good. It is very disconcerting to me that I am so easily satisfied with just going about. And really what Mr. Kagawa was speaking to is our purpose in life, our reason for being here on planet Earth. How many of you feel like sometimes you're just kind of busy going about? Your schedule rules you. Your routine lords over you, and you're kind of the slave to the routine. We all feel like that. And sometimes we question in our heart, am I really making a difference in the world around me, in the people around me, in the relationships around me? Is my life have meaning and purpose? So that's why I think we resonate with Mr. Kagawa. Now, what he's speaking to is a call that God has given each and every one of us. Each and every one of us is called by God, and each and every one of us is given gifts to serve. Not to just go about doing stuff, but going about doing good. I wanted to read a verse from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. If you would like to open in your seisho or on your phone, your electronic seisho, then by all means. But I did want to say something really fast. I was amazed at the lehai, the worship this morning. That was very lively. And I secretly want to take you all to Asia with me so we can really liven up Japan and maybe parts of South. You'll go? Okay, let's go together. Let me know. First we'll finish lehai, and then we'll go. Or lehai, coffee hour, then we'll go. Okay, we're going to have our priorities. So Ephesians 2:10. How many of you know this passage? Some of you may know the verses 8 and 9 before. It talks about we are saved by grace and not by works. It's not of ourselves so that we can boast, but it's a gift that God gives us. It's undeserved and it's unearned. We simply receive it, we say thank you, and we live in it. But God didn't stop there. He also called us to do something with purpose. And this is what verse 10 says. And by the way, I'm reading it in what they call the Message translation, which is a very modern English. It says, He creates each of us by Christ Jesus to join Him in the work He does, the good work He has gotten ready for us to do, work we had better be doing. So this speaks to our purpose. And in regards to this call to do good work, there's both a general call that happens daily in our lives, and there's a specific call. So first, the general call is simply to follow Jesus. Jesus comes knocking at our heart's door. Our mind and our heart is opened up to faith. We believe, we say yes, and we follow Him daily, as faithfully as we can, by God's strength. Sometimes we fail. How many fell any given day? How many failed this past week? And how many had some success? I think our life is a mix of failures and success. But we live in grace. So even when we fail, it's an opportunity to learn and to grow and get up and keep moving. So we're all called generally to follow the Lord daily and to do good works. But we're also called specifically to a time, a place, a people, and a good work. And for Kagawa-san, what he did was he was a Christian reformer and an evangelist, but specifically he lived in the Kobe area of Japan, and he left a very comfortable, affluent life and went and lived amongst the poor in the Kobe area. And then he built schools, he established churches, and he also built hospitals. So Kagawa had a specific good call upon his life to a specific area in Japan, to a specific people. And all of us have that. And so what we do is then we pray, God, show me, show us, what is my call? How can I have purpose in my life? How can I have meaning every day in my relationships, but also in what I'm doing? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be a pastor like Pastor Mick. Most of us are not pastors. How many are not pastors? Okay, all right. But did you know that you're all ministers? You all have influence. You all are touching people. And you all are gifted to touch people in your life. So God counts on each of you. You actually have a larger influence than Pastor Mick or myself. You have a much larger influence because you're impacting, as a whole church family, you're impacting probably dozens, if not hundreds of people through the representation today. So we're all called to something specific. What is that good call? If you ask God, He'll show you what that good call is. And I pray, at the end of the service, I'll have an opportunity to pray for you, that God will show us all that good call, so we can be about not just going about doing, but doing good. Amen? Amen. All right. How's it so far? Too fast? Perfect? Okay, soon she will translate, so you can go back to sleep if you want. It's good. So now I'd like to transition transition and just share our own call. I'll embarrass my daughter if I say I call it the Hall call. Our last name is Hall, so I call it the Hall call. It is corny, I admit, but I challenged my daughter to come up with a better way of saying it, and then I'll change it. So far, she hasn't shared with me, so I'll keep embarrassing her, and she loves me, I hope. So really quickly, this past August, I got an email from Eric Spangler. You may not know Eric, but he's the Free Methodist World Mission Director of Asia. He oversees many, many leaders throughout Asia. He was talking with the Free Methodist Bishop Matt Thomas, who's from the Washington State is where he lives. He oversees all the Western states as well as all of Asia. That's his responsibility. They were talking together and they thought, you know, that guy Gene Hall might be a good addition to our team. How about we reach out to him and ask him, would he consider moving to Asia and joining us in leadership development and church plant support? So I read that email and I got excited. I have to tell you, my heart jumped a beat and I was like, oh my goodness, I have an opportunity. I'm being invited to go to Asia. And so I was like, yeah. And I thought, okay, wait, I better calm down a bit. I better pray about it. So I went in, I talked with my wife. She wasn't quite as excited as I was. She was more worried about what does that mean and that, oh my goodness, you know, that means a big change for us. So we decided, we prayed together, and maybe a day or two in praying separately, we came across the same passage of Scripture. It's in Isaiah chapter 6, verses 1 through 9. Now I won't read it all to you, but I will share with you, there's two parts to this passage. This is the call of Isaiah. He was going to be a prophet, a very important figure in the life of Israel. And so he needed to hear from God. And so when he was quite young, God spoke to him. Now, the verse that I heard and got excited about was God was saying to Isaiah, who will go for us? Whom shall we send? And Isaiah raised his hand and said, here am I, Lord, send me. And I'm kind of outgoing kind of personality, so when I read this is all the confirmation I needed. Okay, God, you're calling us to Asia. I am in. Choose me. I'm ready to go. Minori, on the other hand, we're different personalities, but we help one another. Amen? You ever feel like that? Like your spouse has a certain temperament or gifts, and you have certain temperament or gifts, and you complement one another. So her whole call was earlier in that same passage. Isaiah had actually had a heavenly vision. He was ushered into the very presence of God and the angels. And the first thing that Isaiah said is, woe is me. He fell on his face because he said, I am a man of unclean lips, and I live amongst the people who are unclean. I'm unworthy, God. Then an angel went to and took a coal that was burning and put it on Isaiah's mouth and cleansed him. And that was symbolic that Isaiah would go and speak the words of God. He would be that oracle or that instrument of God to speak the good news God had for the people. And so after that, that's when Isaiah raised his hand. So Minori's call was slightly different. She needed to know, okay, God, are you really in this? And what makes me worthy to go? And God said, I make you worthy. I'm calling you. So I'm glad she had that part of the call, and I had my part of the call. Together, we're called. Then we went to ask our children what they thought. That's very important. If our kids say, I don't feel so called, then what do? We have to wait. We have to wait on God's perfect timing. So we went to our daughter, Mika, who's right out there, and we said, Mika, what do you think? She goes, well, next year I'm graduating from high school. I'm going to go on to college, so I'll tell you what. I'll say sayonara, and you have fun, and I'll go to college. And she also has 2 cats. and she doesn't want to let those beautiful creatures go. So she'll take her cats to college and study, and we'll go. And I kind of saw some humor in this. Usually, parents, they take their child off to college and they cry, and then they come home. So they kind of send their kids off, right? Well, our daughter is sending us off from college to Asia. It's kind of interesting. Then we went to our son Ewald, and we said, "You want to go to Asia?" And he goes, "Yeah, Japan." Well, we were supposed to consider maybe Bangkok or Phnom Penh, so Cambodia or Thailand. But when Ewald said Asia, you know what? In our hearts, when he said Japan, in our hearts we just knew in our hearts that's where our heart is anyway. So we believed God was going to open a door for us to go to Japan. So where we stand right now, there's nothing official from our Japanese friends, the Free Methodist Church in Japan, but the bishop and Eric Spangler are committed for us to live in Japan and make our home base in Japan. So we're very excited about that. So we will live in Japan, and we will serve to the churches if they desire our service. We'll serve whoever is willing and able to work with us. And then we'll also work with leaders in Southeast Asia. Altogether, there's 7 countries we'll be serving. By the way, I'll put up that Mark's doing a great job here. I'll just say he's doing an awesome job. So if we could go back to the call, there's one more slide. Oh, we'll scroll through there. I'll stop you. Right there. Right there. There we go. So this is kind of my tagline. This is what I'll be doing. I'll be developing faithful leaders who develop faithful leaders. At our season in life, we're nearly empty nesters. We've been in ministry for many years. We feel like this is an opportunity for us to pour what we've learned and what we've done, our experiences and so forth, into the life of younger leaders who can go out and have a lot of energy and lead others to Christ and build churches and plant churches. So that's our primary role. Not to go lead a church necessarily. We won't work with churches, but we want to pour our lives into young leaders so that they can gather others around. And I think in their native language, whether it be Japanese or Khmer or Thai, they're going to be most effective in the countries they live. And we're more of a supportive role to encourage them and to walk alongside them. So there's a verse that kind of ties into developing faithful leaders who develop faithful leaders. This is a verse that Paul shared with his mentee, or if it's like a coach and a player, and that was Timothy. And he said this, "And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." Not so long ago, I paused and I counted how many mentors have impacted my life. And I stopped at 26. I've had many, many people speak into my life, be a wonderful example of faith, love me when I was unlovable, encourage me when I was discouraged, and see gifts in me when I didn't see those gifts. And say, you can do this. You can do this. So we have maybe just a small opportunity as we go to Japan and Southeast Asia to discover that in other leaders and do for them what many people have done for me personally. So you wonder, how can you be involved in this? Besides, there was the woman right here to my left who wants to go to Japan right after the coffee hour. So I'm ready to go. Let's book those flights. But there are really 2 ways that you can partner with us. We leave next year, but this is a whole season of partnering and inviting people to join us. 2 weeks ago, we stepped down from New Life Christian Church in Glendale, where I pastored for 6 years. So we're now kind of free agents, visiting our Pacific Coast Japanese churches, friends and family, and other churches outside of our area to just invite you and them to go to Japan with us, at least in spirit, through your prayers and through your financial support. And really it boils down to this. It's our responsibility to raise all our support, from the training and the orientation work that we do in the next about 14 months here on the U.S. side, to the transition, the move over to Japan, to getting settled. And also we have to raise the support to travel to Southeast Asia and do the ministry there, as well as within Japan. So all of that responsibility is upon us. We were in Niigata, about 11 years ago. We were there for 4 years, and I had a full-time job. It was very easy. We left Seattle, a church in Seattle. We went to Niigata, and we worked for an amazing 4 years, and it was a lot of fun. This time, we want to stay longer, maybe 5 to 7 years total. So we have to ask people to partner with us, to give us more freedom to do this ministry. So would you prayerfully consider joining us, our prayer team, as well as financially supporting us? Some people say, well, you're leaving in 2019. How about I start supporting you July of 2019 and you'll leave August 1st? That's wonderful. If you want to wait that long, we would definitely receive your support. However, we have to build a budget. How many of you live on a budget? And you have a certain amount of income that comes in every month. Yeah, that's how I live too. And every month I get that statement for my home. It's called a mortgage statement. And they want money. And if I don't pay it, then they're not very happy. After 2 or 3 months, I probably get nasty statements. Thankfully, I've always been able to pay my mortgage. So it's the same way for us. We have to start now by building our budget from today on. And so, for example, if you were to partner with us, let's say $100 a month, and you went on to our website or you wrote a check and you let them know we're going to partner with the Halls as long as we can, then when the system counts your support, they won't just count $100, they'll count $1,200, because they're counting a full year's worth of support. And what that does is it bumps our pledges up. And then that shows that we're closer to reaching our goal of around $132,000, $134,000. We have to reach that goal before we leave Los Angeles. So that's why it's important to get people who will partner with us. So our greatest need is, of course, one-time gifts are welcome, but our greatest need is monthly partners. So it's very humbling, and I've talked to many missionaries. How do you ask people to partner with you? They say, humble yourself and ask. And I'd much rather have a job over there, frankly, and like I did the first time, but this is God's timing for us. This is God's season. And so we just humbly say, would you prayerfully consider, would you talk with your spouse or your family and say, hey, we got a few extra dollars. We'd like to partner with the Halls and see them launch well and land well and do fruitful ministry. So appreciate your time. And now Minori, my wife, my much better half, is going to come and summarize what I just shared with you. Thank you.
おはようございます。今日ここに皆さんと一緒に礼拝できることを心から感謝いたします。ジーンが今皆さんとシェアした内容、かなり短くさせていただきますけれども、あと冗談も全部省かせていただきます。まず最初に私たちは日本人教会でこの今までの20年ほどの間日系教会でずっと奉仕させていただいてきました。で、私たちにとって日本というのは、日本の方々っていうのはとても私たちの心の中にいつもいる存在でした。で、1800年 代後半から1900年の前半に日本で社会運動家としてまた福音伝道者として活躍された香川豊彦さん。彼の言葉があるんですけれども、ある本でキリストという人が善を行ったということを読んだ。で、私がただ日々を忙しく過ごすだけで満足しているというのは何とも納得のいかないことだとおっしゃいました。で、香川豊彦氏はキリストの力を受けて良い働きをされました。貧しい人々と生活を共にし、また学校、病院、教会を建てました。で、彼は神様から特別な使命を受けてこういう働きをされましたけれども、私たちも日々神様から招きを受けて生きているのではないでしょうか。で、その招きには2種類あると思います。まず一つは日々神に従うという招きです。で、私たちは日々神様を信じ信頼して歩むことに神様からの招きをいただいています。そしてもう一つはある目的のために私たちは招かれているのではないでしょうか。で、特に香川氏がそうであったように彼はまず人たちと共に歩む。で、その人たちを助けるという使命のもとに神様から招かれた。で、そして私たち一人一人同じように神様から特別な目的のために招かれていると思います。で、あなたのお一人お一人の招き、神様からの招きは一体どういうものでしょうか。一人一人その場所、また時で働きの内容は異なると思います。で、私たちもまた神様から招きを受けています。で、牧師として、また日系人教会で働く者として、でまた日本人の、妻と共に家族を形成する者として招かれていると思います。そして特に、今回私たちは日本、東南アジアでの働きのために宣教師として神様からの招きをいただきました。で、その経過を少し説明したいと思います。去年の夏8月の終わりにフリーメソジスト教会のワールドミッション、そのディレクターであるエリック氏、エリック・スパングラー氏、ごめんなさい、エリック・スパングラー氏と、そしてまたアメリカ西部およびアジア全体の責任者であられるビショップマット・トーマスと2人の方から個人的に東南アジアで働きをしないかという招きをいただきました。で、最初、その招きをいただいた時にジーンはとてもエキサイトして喜びました。で、若い人たち、また若い牧師たちと共に働くということはなんと本当に楽しそうな面白いでまた希望にあふれた仕事ではないかと思いました。それとは反対に私ですね、私は東南アジア、どうしようかと私はためらいました。で、まず最初に内容が分かりません。どういう働きをするのか、そしてまたこの家族もまだ子どもたちが高校に行ってる時に違う国へ行くで、それは私にとってはとても大きなチャレンジでした。それで私たちはそれぞれに共に祈り、またそれぞれに祈りました。で、その中で私たち2人とも同じイザヤ書の6章8節から神様から確信をいただきました。で、神様は誰を使わすべきか、誰が私たちに代わっていくだろうか。で、それに答えてイザヤが言います。私がここにおります。私を使わせてください。で、私個人としては神様、私は本当にそれを神様からの召された働きに本当に私はそれに応えることの人間ではないのだろうかととても迷いました。 でその時にこのイザヤの6章の中でイザヤが私は汚れたものである。で私はこの働きにそぐわないものであると言ったところで神様のエンジェルですね天使が燃えている炭を持ってきてイザヤの唇に触れました。でそれによってイザヤは汚れを記憶され、そして罪が許され、でその上で私は生きますと神様に答えました。それを読んだ時に私も私は本当にこの働きにそぐわないものであるけれども、神様が私を清くしてくださるから、神様が私の罪を許してくださるから、そして神様が力を与えてくださるから、この働きはできるのではないかと。そういうことで私ははい行きますと神様に答えました。そして、ジンも私も神様から確信をいただきました。で次は子どもたちです。でまずミカ、今高校の3年ですけれども、ミカにまず聞きました。でアジアに行くことになったらどうするって言ったら、彼女はもうあと1年したら高校は終わるので、そのまま私はこちらで大学に行きます。だからさようならと言われました。だから私たちの娘が私たちを外国に送るという形になります。でその後、岩を、彼は高校2年ですけれども、で岩に、アジアに行くことになったらどうすると聞くと、今度は彼は日本なら行くと言います。で日本じゃないかもしれないよって言ったけど、日本だったら行くということで、私たちも私も両親が日本にいますので日本に行けたらいいなと思っていましたけれども、リーダーたちと話すうちにじゃあ日本に行って日本から東南アジアへ行く働きをすればいいのではないかというふうに言っていただきました。ですので私たちは日本を拠点にして東南アジアの7カ国の、牧師先生方、またリーダーの方たちと働くことになります。そしてまた日本で日本の教会のお手伝いをできればと思っています。でその後主な働きですけれども、それは第2テモテの2章2節に、そして多くの証人の面前で私から聞いたことを他の人々にも教えることのできる忠実な人たちに委ねなさいとあります。で寺院の主な働きは忠実なリーダーを育てる忠実なリーダーを育てる役割ですから、彼の働きは今までの経験また学んだことを用いて若い教会のリーダーまた牧師先生方を育てる役割となります。そしてまたその日本の教会もまた助けて励ますサポート的な役割をすることになります。で私たちは2週間前に、ニューライフクリスチャンチャーチ6年間働かせていただいた教会での牧会から退きました。で日本に行くための準備の期間に正式に入ったところです。で以前新潟に4年間住んでいた時は教師として働いていましたのできちんとお給料があり安定した生活を送らせていただきましたけれども、今回は全て皆様からのサポートによって送られ、そして向こうでの働きをするという形になります。で私たちの日本でのまた東南アジアでの働きは全てここにいるアメリカにいる皆さんに頼ることになります。でどうか私たちを祈りによってサポートしてください。で皆さんの祈りによって本当に神様の力が働くと信じています。でそしてまた私たちは経済的にサポートしていただく必要があります。で一番の必要は毎月長期的なサポートが必要となります。 で皆さんにこれだけの金額を毎月サポートします。そして1年また2年それより長ければ長いほどいいんですけれどもそういう形でサポートしていただくのが私たちのこれからのバジェットを立てていくために一番貴重なサポートとなります。でその準備に必要な経費はまた私たちこれからオリエンテーション、トレーニング、また引っ越しなどの費用、それから向こうでの生活費と活動費と合計しますと1年間で13万5000ドル、一月にすると1万1000ドルほどかかります。でそれを私たちが、来年の夏に出発する前に全て蓄えなければなりません。でそのためにどうか私たちを祈りに覚えサポートしてくださることをお願い申し上げます。でアジアに神様の福音を広めるためにどうか私たちのパートナーとなって一緒に行かなくても私たちは共に働くことを神様から招かれていると思います。どうか私たちのこれからの働き将来をご理解いただいてどうかサポートしていただきますようにお願いいたします。今日はどうもありがとうございました。